and this happens. So the noise is clearly the noise of the jungle. But have you seen how good you were at finding the snake? The image is very blurry, but you sure didn't miss the snake. Or if you miss the snake, you won't get a lollipop. What happened is that our brain is wired for snakes. And why we know that it's wired is that you know that the kids can put something and frightens you. You jump and you say, oh, that was not a snake. But we are wired to react to things which move fast without even needing to know that it is a snake. We simply know that something is there and that thing is dangerous and we need to jump. How does it go in the brain? This way. So you get the input in the eyes, you get processing on the back of the head, and what you get then is an immediate evaluation of the situation. So your brain doesn't know yet that there is a snake there, but your brain knows there is something dangerous, get out. Now you're going to tell me what about the snake? That requires a little bit more time and a little bit more processing. What needs to be done is a complex computation. You will apply some rules, like, if the nose is black, get back. By the way, you should learn those rules because they might be useful. But this is so if it's black, it's not good. No, so I jumped and I say, wow, I should jump even more. And then you say, you still could be in the situation of the snake on the bottom right. This is not a dangerous snake. The snake on the top right is not dangerous. The snake on the bottom right is not dangerous. The snake on the left is mortal. It's going to kill you. To differentiate between the two, you have the famous rule, red on yellow, kill a fellow. The one on the left is red on yellow. The one on the right is red on black. So now that you've sorted that out in your part of the brain, you say, okay, no problem, I can go or I can't. So what you've seen, what you've done is that you took the signals, the same signals that you first got, and now you've transformed them into objects. And that's a piece of the brain which we know because we know that what happens when this part of the brain is destroyed or just annihilated. That part of the brain defines the objects, and then the rest of your brain can manipulate them, understand them, apply rules, and we come back to evaluation, and at that point you say, okay, let's pass or let's not pass. So you saw the two pieces. So what we discover is that the brain works in two stages. The first stage is immediate evaluation of what's there, not needing to understand what's there, but needing to understand enough to react. There is an obstacle, I'm going to brake. And you'd better brake right now before knowing if it's really an obstacle or other things like that. Then you think, is it really an obstacle? That's what you do on the left. So what we have is that instinctive reaction following its own pattern in the brain, and then thoughtful reaction following yet another pattern but slower. It is not by chance that these pictures match. Top, fast reaction. Bottom, thoughtful reaction. Now I can just come back to say here is that what we see is actually the drilling environment, and what we see on the bottom is the drilling context, where we see, what is this well about, what are the environmental conditions, all things that are going to allow us to mitigate what we actually have to do on the top right. Okay, so now we've talked about snakes. And now we're going to talk about something which is much more important to this audience, and you're going to see much more important also for many reasons, which is the another kind of events. So it's running much faster than the actual. The noise is, of course, the actual noise at the rig. And what we see here are the 4 fundamental signals of our industry. So Clay showed you, the Kinect and the 3D and the volumes and, that's what we got. But those signals are the heart of the oil industry. We're going to go a little bit in depth on those, but the point here is that that's what we have to react on. That's what the drillers have to react on. So we are in the same situation as before. The capability of the driller to have an instinctive reaction, but on something which is not innate, something that has been learned, something which has been experienced. So it is much more difficult for the human brain to do these kind of things, of course.